Do not fall for this in your 20s. Romantic love is shoved down our throats from a very, very early age. Our culture is like obsessed with romance, and every song is about love. Every movie has to have a couple. Even Disney movies, like there's always gotta be a love interest, like in every. And maybe I'm just saying this because I'm autistic and I just don't get it. I don't get the obsession with like love. I saw this one girl make a video talking about how romantic love is a distraction from other types of love, such as familial love, platonic love, and community love. So the problem is when you're conditioned from a young age to value romantic relationships and see romantic relationships as the end all be all, I made it of connection and intimacy, you miss out on all the other opportunities for love. When those hormones start to activate, the trap is thinking that that's what you have to do next. Like your body is giving you these signals. Okay, it's time to procreate. Now is the most optimal time, your 20s, to settle down to have a family. But the world's not the way that it used to be, for our ancestors and such, with hyperinflation and all these people with college debt, people still living with their parents, people not moving out, having multiple roommates because they can't afford to take care of themselves, let alone to have a family. And a lot of young people now are just choosing not to, even millennials, like who are in their 30s and 40s, are just choosing not to have kids. The problem is that we don't have an alternative. So when you get to that age and you start to get those feelings and you start to have those hormonal urges to go out and get a mate, you have to understand that you have an option there, right? So I fucked up, but at the last possible second I got my shit together. And it's actually crazy. If you want to know the story, go check it out on my other channel. But found somebody that I wanted to be with, and that just spiraled into reckless abandon, just fuck it all, love wins, let's do whatever we want. And love really does not pay the bills, A. And B, I almost feel like recklessly throwing yourself into a relationship like that in your 20s, it's not that you don't have feelings for this person, it's not that you don't really love this person. It's just that when you haven't fully figured out who you are or what you want to do with your life, it's kind of selfish on both parts, because you're cheating yourself out of your maximum potential, but you're also cheating that other person out of a partner that really knows who they are and what they want and is pursuing their best and highest self, which would benefit them ultimately in the long run as well. So many people think that finding a partner is the most important thing in life, and it's just not. That romantic love that's going to that partner should really be going towards you. You should be using that same amount of energy to get to know yourself, to do what you want to do, to figure out who you are, what your gifts are, and then use that to enrich the world. When someone is in a lower tier of Maslow's hierarchy and they're thinking about their basic needs and safety, obviously that's what they're gonna think. The highest version of me is obviously married and has a family, but there's just so much more. I finally got to the point where I've skipped over the love and intimacy thing, and I'm okay, actualization. Who do I need to become in order to be that person? How can I set myself up so when I do actually have a family, I'm giving them the best version of me that's possible, the best resources, because I took the time to figure out my gifts and how to give back to the world and create a business out of that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have kids because of the economy, or you shouldn't have kids in your 20s. If that's what you want to do, go for it. I personally felt that I was still a kid when I graduated from college, but I had these raging fucking hormones that were pretty much driving me in a certain direction, and it was really hard. But the one thing that really helped me to overcome that I really want you guys to know, is your sacral chakra governs creativity, that then inspires you, that gets your hormones raging to go create another being. What I realized was that I could take that same energy that's motivating me to find a mate and to procreate, to invest into my creativity as an artist. And I'm finding that I don't experience the same raging horniness that I used to, because that energy is being used. So if you've heard about semen retention, you've heard about no nut November. As a woman, we have the same shit. Let's not try to pretend that men are just horny. No, girl, you lying to yourself if you think that women don't also experience those types of feelings. So start channeling that energy into something for yourself. It's hard at first to break out of it, because I still get those moments where I start feeling a certain way, you know what I'm talking about, I'm PMSing or whatever. I'm just man, I miss him, you know what I'm saying? I have to be thankful for that energy, because it's just pure creative energy. It can be used to create anything. And that's when your manifestation power is really, really on 10 as well. And when you find that you are doing creative things for yourself every day, you're drawing, you're writing, you're building something, doing something to nurture that creative spirit, you'll start to feel a shift. People get pissed off or upset when they haven't had sex in a while. It's an unmet need, but you can find other ways to meet that need, if that makes sense. Everybody's different. If you have your own ways of meeting those needs, I'm not here to judge you or say that what you're doing is wrong. I'm just saying personally, from reading Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins, in order to fully love someone, you have to let go of your desire for them. A lot of those feelings can actually just get in the way of you having a connection with that person. You're so hell-bent on them being a boyfriend or girlfriend or a partner in a romantic sense that you're not actually enjoying who they are. You both might have the same interests and you never talk about them because you're so focused on like getting them to be your boyfriend or girlfriend. In order to fully love, you kind of have to like let go of what you want. I stopped valuing what the media was trying to make me value so damn much. Like, oh, I have to have a partner, or I have to have this romantic love situation and it has to be like this or else there's something wrong with me. No, like we're all different. I'm not saying they're wrong for writing stories or music about love, but it's mental programming at the end of the day. So just remember to think for yourself. Ultimately, it's about finding the right situation that works for you. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. All my friends from high school are getting married. You don't know what their life is really like. Don't feel weird if you haven't found the right person yet. Find a way to have fun with yourself. That changed everything for me. Enjoying the fact that I'm here, I'm alive on this planet, and I can literally do whatever I want. Literally, this is an open world virtual reality video game. Like, do what you want to do.